Chapter 2. May's Diary, July 3rd, 2001. I held the note with all my heart and soul before ending my song. I was pleased with myself. I felt I had truly done the religious hymn justice. Releasing the microphone stand, I closed my eyes and waited for the applause. Minutes passed, and then there it was. Quiet, gentle claps spilling out from a very polite congregation. At that moment, I longed for the other church's congregation across town. If I had sung the hymn there, I would have been met with shouts of praise and a chorus of amens echoing through the air. Disappointed, I smiled graciously to the Protestant congregation and carefully sat down in my modest pink cotton dress. I tried to mask my frustration as I smoothed the fabric over my knees, my face still warm from the performance. Let us give praise to my lovely daughter, Maylene, for her wonderful selection. I heard my father's voice rang out from the pulpit. God has truly shined on her by giving her the gift of song. Praise him. I rolled my eyes toward the ceiling, silently seething. Why did he always have to thank God for everything I did? Didn't he understand that it wasn't God who gave me this voice? I had inherited it from great-grandmother Jeannie, who had been almost famous singing for the USO during the war. She didn't pass it down from the heavens. She was flesh and blood, like me. Sometimes I would lose myself in the stories about her, how she entertained troops from all over the world. And then, just as quickly as I found myself admiring her, a flicker of anger would rise within me. How could she give up her singing career for a small-time businessman who promised her everything and delivered nothing? Her great-grandmother could have gone so far, but instead, she let herself be tethered by love and a quiet life. I promised myself I would never be that foolish. Never. No man, no promise. No sweet talking would ever pull me away from my dreams. Sugar paused, her fingers tracing the edges of the page. She remembered her mother often telling her this story, how great Grandma Jeannie had been on the cusp of something great, but let it slip away. May had always made it sound like a cautionary tale, one she was determined not to repeat. The irony was sharp now, cutting through the image of the May she always known. Sugar continued reading May's diary. Church felt endless today. Arthur Lee, my daddy, the Reverend, went on and on about living a righteous life. But to be honest, I didn't care to hear any of it. My mind was elsewhere, floating to far-off places, filled with music and bright lights. I wanted him to finish already. Hush up. I wanted to leave. But let me be clear, dear diary. I am not a sinner or a heathen. I am just Maylene Barnes, a woman with big dreams of the city and stars in her eyes for a champagne life. And growing up has been a mixed bag of good and perilous times. Every generation has its battles, and I suppose ours had been no different. Wars, protests, struggles. But there is one thing that transcends all of it, one thing that brings us together. Music. Music cuts through the noise, even for just a moment, letting us lay down our blood-stained banners and simply feel. I crave to be a part of that world. I have a voice. The voice of an angel, they tell me, and a beautiful face that could rival any famous singer or actress. But right now, my battle isn't with the world. It's with my own daddy. Arthur Lee has forbidden me to sing or even listen to music that isn't from the Lord's house. But I do it anyway. I have been asked to join a band of musicians who look like the colors of a rainbow. They're leaving town soon, heading to places where we can be seen and really make it. Places where we can make music without judgment. I've made up my mind. I'm going with them. I'm going to test my wings. They say we might get a record deal if we can get the right people to hear us, and I believe them. Today, I felt something magical, like dust settling on my feet, telling me I'm heading in the right direction. I know the road ahead won't be easy, but I believe in my heart that once I've made it, Easy Street will find me. Sugar closed the diary, her mother's words lingering in the quiet of the limousine. She could see May, young and full of ambition, so certain of her path, so determined not to fall into the same traps as her great-grandma Jeannie. And yet, in the end, May had built her own cage. It wasn't her daddy Arthur Lee or a quiet life that had kept her from her dreams. It was fame itself. The fame that May had chased so relentlessly had become a prison, not just for her, but for Sugar too. Sugar signed, looking out the window at the fast-moving cars, and she thought to herself, life moves fast, if not faster. All this fame had come so quickly, transforming her life in an instant, leaving her to sometimes question whether she truly deserved it all.